Fantastic. Someone is going to make you feel so good about yourself, my gorgeous Scorpione, right at the beginning of this week. You know, when the right person enters our life, always to do with like when we are surrounded by the right people in our lives, and when I say when we are surrounded by the right people in our lives, of course that I'm talking about those people who are being like a major people on our spiritual journey. So this is going to be somebody who is in your life, like pretty much so, quite a lot. And that in itself means that this particular person is really going to make you feel so good about certain aspect of your life. And sometimes when these people are really important people in our lives, and then when they highlight something really specific about us ourselves, when it comes to our skill or something that we are doing or something that we are focusing on, we feel it, completely differently. We feel it from a completely different angle. So something is really going to be highlighted about you, about yourself, about something that you're doing currently, about something that you're focusing on, and you're gonna absolutely love this. This is gonna mean to you so much. And you know what? And that could have happened at any time, but because the energies are going to be really specific, which are going to be kind of really prominent throughout this week, the energies are going to be like, it's like perfect energy in between spirituality and practicality, which means that, what we hear and what you're going to hear, they're going to be added things that we're going to understand about certain things that we are already kind of aware of. So it's that additional insight that it actually brings into your life, that opens your eyes and helps you to see differently, and that in return like really gives you courage and strength to understand that things in life are changing all the time. When something really important is coming up, then something really quite significant that it used to be, it's coming to an end. So this in itself is going to reveal an aspect of your life that you should move on like as quick as you can, because it's affecting you. It's affecting not necessarily your abilities, but what you're currently trying to achieve and what you're currently trying to what you're currently working on. So this is why this is going to be so important, my gorgeous Scorpione, indeed. And it's not only about somebody highlighting something really specific about yourself. This is going to mean to you so much. It's going to mean to you so much, because at the same time there is this idea which you've had for a while, that now, oh my god, now you're gonna be so excited because now you have got your like kind of confirmation. And this is going to mean to you quite a lot. So now at the same time you will be reminded of this idea which you've had for a while. And this idea, it was the last little thing that was like kind of missing when it comes to this ongoing plan in your life. You're going to find yourself like in this mood for planning and planning and planning. And that particular idea that you've had was like a kind of like a missing element, but you couldn't kind of take this like before seriously, purely because you maybe needed just like a little bit of confidence, breath of a fresh air through somebody who is such a powerful person or a powerful figure in your life. I mean, at the end of the day, I am talking about somebody extremely wise, extremely clever, and extremely intelligent as well. Somebody who's like very spiritual, but somebody who's also like kind of, I suppose, like a professional or a business person as well. It has got some kind of elements of that. So you've got like a whole package when it comes to this particular person. So it is coming from somebody who is on one hand very connected to you, but then on another hand somebody who is very, very clever indeed. And this, you are aware of this, of course. So when it comes to that particular idea, that now you're gonna be able to kind of start planning. It's about an idea and it's about a plan. It's about planning, it's about an idea which you've had. Now, it's not only about that. You need to understand that you need to be as quick as you possibly can when it comes to that idea. You need to be quick, you need to be sharp, and you're gonna need to declare something immediately. You're gonna feel like how you want to declare something, and I highly suggest you to do this, because by declaring something at this moment in time, this is so important what I'm gonna say, because by declaring what you actually gonna feel so strong to declare, at the same time you're setting the boundaries, at the same time you're being honest with yourself. But by setting the boundaries and being honest with yourself, you're also going to prevent one of the nastiest towers in your life you could have possibly had. Okay, so this is why it's important to, like, kind of, as soon as you kind of are aware of, reminded of this idea which you've had, and I repeat, it's to do with some kind of plan which you've had for a while, but the things you just needed a bit of like a Varavumish energy and a bit of a green light, which can only come from somebody really specific in your life and somebody who you feel connected to. So this is actually going to lead towards you needing to understand that you need to put this as a priority, as a priority number one. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life at the moment. It doesn't matter. You need to understand this is serious, this is important, and you need to put this as a priority number one, because you need to set the boundaries. Okay, need to be clear with yourself, and by doing that you're also at the same time going to prevent a nasty tower. And tower, you know, like, if some of you don't know what tower is, it's like a necessary and a very, very negative situation are necessarily happening here. So you see how things are gonna work out for you brilliantly, but you need to kind of understand the actual importance of this particular idea which you've had for a while, but only now you're gonna be able to kind of take this really, really seriously. You're gonna be able to consider this indeed. So you see what an impact and influence like amazing people in our lives can actually have. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Scorpioni, what I want to say to you, by the time you get to the mid part of this week, listen to me very carefully. You need to be strong here. You need to be strong, because you're going to be so pressurized to do something. You're going to feel pressurized to do something really badly. And when I say that you're going to be pressurized to do something, someone is going to be pressurizing you to kind of make some kind of decision here. And that in itself, oh my God, it's going to put you in such a mode where you're going to be uncertain what exactly is happening. But then at the same time, you're going to be so indecisive. And this is what you're going to find so difficult. You're being pressurized to kind of to do something, but to do something, you know, you're going to be pressurized to do something. But then again, you're going to feel like you're not too sure on one hand how you're going to do it, but you're going to be like pretty much so not too sure how you're going to do it, or why should you do it, you know? So you are going to kind of feel pressurized to do something, but you're going to be like really indecisive. Listen to me very carefully. This is serious. Again, if you are pressurized to do something and you're really uncertain, you know, you are really like kind of indecisive, I want you to understand that, you know, you have to be very smart here, because the bottom line is that you need to avoid some kind of temptation. When you're pressurized to make this decision, you must avoid this temptation. Temptation has to be avoided with this kind of situation at all costs, okay? And the decision that you're gonna kind of feel pressurized to make, you know, it's really a lot to do. What is gonna be on your mind? How are you gonna kind of maybe save money, or you're gonna be thinking about the finances quite a lot? This is exactly what is going to be on your mind. But what you need to understand, my gorgeous Scorpioni, here is that when you find yourself being indecisive, this is what you need to pay attention to. When you find yourself being indecisive, now you just must avoid this temptation, because there's going to be one thing to do or another thing to do. One thing to do, oh my God, a bit of a hard work, you know, but then another thing to do, another thing, it's going to be like a bit of a temptation, too good to be true. And the pressure, right, the way you're going to be pressurized is you're going to be somehow pressurized by this particular person or a group of people, or God knows how exactly this is going to be happening. You're going to be pressurized to actually go towards the temptation. Don't go against your own spirit. Do not go against your own soul. Don't do something which you know it's going to be bad for you. And this temptation, it's going to seem like and it's going to feel like this is too good to be true. So not only someone is going to be pressurizing you to do something, but somebody to make some kind of decision, but somebody is going to be pressurizing you to make this particular decision that you will know it's going to be bad, because in the first place it's nothing but the actual temptation, too good to be true. Okay, and I think you just have to like really walk away from this and avoid this. Okay, avoid this at all costs. Okay, this is very important for you to understand, because it's not about you being indecisive. It's how I started this. Maybe I started in a wrong way. It's not necessarily about you being indecisive, but it's more about you being pressurized to do something that it's a bit of a temptation, something devilish will be going on, and you know from the first moment, you will know that intuitively, no baby, no. So I would completely avoid this when you find yourself being pressurized. Okay, it's just so important, because now what I was going to say before about saving money and about saving things that belong to you and doing the right thing, especially when it comes to the actual finances, you know what I mean? You will see 2 or 3 days later, you will have a very interesting but rather unusual message, and that interesting and unusual message is going to confirm to you that you have done the right thing. And if you went for that temptation, bastardo, you know, then that would have been like really pretty much so, oh my God, something would have happened, and it would have been terribly like kind of irreversible. And like this, you are gonna find this really rewarding. But it's not, because it's not only about this unusual message and confirmation that you're actually going to have, but it's also like kind of going to, you're gonna find this rewarding, because you know this is like a kind of within the next like about 2 or 3 weeks, you know, something really amazing it's gonna happen, and you're gonna realize that you are on the right path. You have been on the right path all along, but it's very difficult to talk about it right now because it's so complex. But you will see that this in itself is like, oh my God, gonna make sense like there is no tomorrow, my gorgeous Scorpioni, indeed. And also, what else I was going to say to you, by the time you get to the last part of this week, you know what, somebody in your life who is very close to you is doing something like some kind of, I think like some kind of like illegal substances or something like that. You know, somebody in your life is doing something, oh my God, is starting some kind of a journey like this, and I don't like this whatsoever, because it's to do with somebody very lovely, somebody really gorgeous, somebody very gentle, and some such a lovely spirit, you know, nice person, lovely spirit. Whether this is somebody's a little bit younger, somebody who is like a little bit younger in your life, or maybe this person just appears to be younger, like a young spirit, you know, maybe this person is much older, but that person just has a like a young spirit and come across as somebody really young and inexperienced. But this is just about the energy that that person actually gives. But you are going to realize that somebody is going to do something really weird again, or you're going to hear about someone quite close to you and someone quite important to you. This is either your family member or your friend. You're going to hear that something is not right, and they've done something that is almost immediately going to ring the bells in your mind. You will know immediately that that person is doing something maybe dodgy, or that person has found themselves like being surrounded by the really weird people. Now please try to kind of like talk to that person, or try to do whatever you can in order to take that person out of this, because that particular person has found themselves being surrounded by really dark people when it comes to their energy, and these people are doing some kind of like the things that people get addicted to unnecessarily, do you know what I mean, and things like that. So now, while it's all really nice and fresh, you know, please, when you have an indication like this, you're intuitively going to be guided, and you will know there is something that you will do, and there was something that you will say that this person is going to understand like that person wouldn't be able to understand anybody else. So it's again telling me that this is somebody who is pretty much so in your life, and you are gonna gain something really important out of it. Don't worry. And I'm not saying to do this just because you're gonna gain something important out of it. No, baby, no. I'm saying this because you are gonna be told something. There is a very specific information that that person is actually going to give you as well. And that specific information that that person is going to give you, it's like, whoa, it's really going to surprise you. But at the same time, it's going to answer your big question. And on top of all that, you will know how to speed something up, something really annoying and something really crucial at this stage of your life as well. And also, my gorgeous Scorpioni, when it comes to the end of this week, you know, what else I was going to say, it's like, this is fantastic. This is absolutely brilliant because, you know, at around the end of the week, you see, you are going to realize how much you want to actually change your life. How much do you want to transform your life, you know? And this in itself, it's like there are so many things that are going to be on your mind, so many things that you're going to be thinking about, so many things you're going to be reflecting on, how you're bored with this, you're bored with that, this is making you negative, this is making you negative. And you're going to realize, maybe I'm drifting away from my own truth. Maybe I'm drifting away from my own truth, you know? And this moment, bam, something is going to change because you are. At this moment in time, you will reconnect with yourself, my gorgeous Scorpione. You will reconnect with yourself, and you are going to have such an important realization. You will realize how much do you want to change? How much do you need to change? One thing is going to lead to another, and you will realize that the actual transformation, when it comes to your life, it's becoming imminent. These feelings are first going to make you like, oh my God, it's going to give you like a sense of urgency. But that sense of urgency is very quickly and very soon going to become this bravery, which is going to be the main driving factor when it comes to you realizing that there is an aspect of your life that you will go through, you will need to go through for a while, and you really don't want it. But sometimes, my gorgeous Scorpione, in this world we have to do things we don't want to do. Okay, and this is going to be one of them. And you also need to understand that this is something that you're gonna need to be patient with. But at the same time, you also need to understand that in as little as 11 days after that moment in time, something is gonna happen, and you're gonna find yourself on a very, very interesting crossroads. And now you're not going to have a choice but to follow this path. And this is when things are going to start becoming very, very interesting for you, because this is bringing a very powerful unfoldment which is going to change every single aspect of your life in the best possible way. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpione, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.